then what we realized is that I couldn't go to a hospital and say, gratitude is like the best way to spread love and to make people feel good. They'd be like, get out of here.
So the purpose of this show is to help us find role models, to exemplify, dude, life's not perfect, the road's not perfect, and we've had some successful, amazing people up here. We have 3 amazingly successful people up here tonight to prove this to us. So I do want to introduce our first speaker tonight, okay? He is the founder of Ability List, which is today's charity. He is the founder of Dreams for Kids, which we'll talk about a little bit more. He is a speaker for TEDx, and he is the founder of Tribute.co, which I believe we're going to learn a little bit about. I'd like to bring up Andrew Horn to the stage. On the screen. Come on. So his handles are on the screen. It's Andrew Horn. And one of the things tonight is, this is a show, you keep your cell phone out. Just please keep it on silent. Please don't make phone calls. But tweet, do whatever you want. The hashtag tonight, again, is the legacy of me. And if you want to tweet about some of the things that Monsieur Andrew is saying, it's Andrew Horn. So ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Horn.
This feels like a ready for stand-up, but I'm not subjecting to that, I promise. So we're here to talk about gratitude. And so to do that, I think we should start by setting a baseline of what gratitude is. And so the simplest way to, I think, articulate what gratitude is simply the state of being thankful. It can be about a person, a place, a thing, ourselves. It can be tangible, it can be intangible. It can be about the past, it can be about the present. It can be about the future, which was something I thought was interesting when I learned about it. The first time I remember being thankful was growing up in Hawaii, on the back porch of my home with my family. Every night we would go out there to eat dinner, and before we would dig in, my mom would go around the table and she'd make every single one of us say our thanks. One thing that day we were appreciative of, thankful for. So before gratitude was my job or a part of my life, it was just the way that I ate dinner. But in the summer of 2013, gratitude became a much bigger part of my life. So my girlfriend decided to give me a gift that I would never forget. So when I got home on the night of my 26th birthday, I swing the door open, and then count of 3. 3, 2, 1. 25 of my best friends and family members jump out and mob me, surprise birthday party. It's amazing. We're hanging out in the house. Halfway through the party, my girlfriend jumps up on a chair. She says, "Everyone in the living room!" And everyone goes back. They pile me. I go into the back. I have no idea what's going on. My girlfriend goes around the corner and she has this projector. She comes out with that projector, still no idea what's going on. She hits play. You see, what I didn't know is that my girlfriend had sent an email out to 25 of my friends and family members. She asked each of those people to submit a 1-minute video telling me why they love me. Good girlfriend, right? She collected those videos and she compiled them into one montage. And so there I sit in the back of this room as I get goosebumps when I talk about it. My mother, my father, my best friends in New York City, my brother who I'd been estranged from for years, telling me how great it is to be his friend again. My best friend in New York City saying those words out loud for the first time, which is an accomplishment as an adult male to get a new best friend. Remember in that moment, I wanted to cry. And I stopped it for a second, and then I just said, fuck it. I sat back there for the next 20 minutes crying my eyes out. When it was all over, I looked at my girlfriend and I said, "This is the best thing I've ever received. How'd you do it?" And she just smiles and looks at me and she says, "Well, it sucked." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, I had to send out hundreds of reminders to get these people to submit, collected files through Dropbox and Drive and text message, had to edit the entire thing together in iMovie. It took me 15 minutes to do the entire thing." So I've been an entrepreneur in the past, like Michael mentioned. That's when I had the light bulb moment. It should not be this difficult to give the most meaningful gift on earth. And so we started Tribute. And Tribute is our technology platform that automates the process of collecting these videos and easily compiling them into one gratitude-filled montage you can give to the people you care about on any occasion. And that's what Tribute started as this initiative to spread that transcendent joy that I felt that first night to as many people as possible. And as I look back on why it was so powerful, I can remember the feeling. I was more connected to my community than at any point of my entire life. I felt better and more seen than at any point in my entire life. And why was that? And as I look back, I think it was 3 things. It's because I realized that gratitude is the most effective form of communication to reinforce our friendships. And you look at it this way, is that when you articulate your gratitude for someone, that person gets to see those virtues, those characteristics that oftentimes we deny because of that self-defeating internal critic, that internal dialogue of doubt, which is something that I struggled with my whole life. But when I had 25 people tell me why I was awesome, I said, shut up, brain, like listen, and acknowledge that as truth, and I did, and I've carried that with me for years since then. You think outside of that, when you articulate your gratitude for someone, and research backs this up, it magnifies those feelings for yourself. So when people tell me why they admire me, why they love me, it re-articulates that and magnifies those feelings in the giver. So now they actually like me more, they're more connected to me. And then the most beautiful thing about gratitude is something called the gratitude loop. Is that, and research again backs this up. When you tell someone why you love them, why you admire them, they are more likely to reciprocate that not just to the person who said it to you, but to the people in their community. So it creates an upward spiral of people spreading love and appreciation in the world. So we wanted to spread that, and that's why we built Tribute. But then it took on a mind of its own. In the last 2 years, we've given tens of thousands of these tribute videos around the globe. Featured on the Today Show, the New Yorker calling us Hallmark 2.0, and that's just the beginning. But my appreciation for gratitude and its transformative power on health and happiness and everything else changed when we met Felipe. So about 1.5 years ago, my friend Lauren says, Andrew, I need to ask a favor. And I say, what? And she introduced me to her friend Felipe. He's a father of 3. He's a husband. And we just found out that he got diagnosed with an aggressive form of cancer in his knee. Doctors say that if it grows into his abdomen, it will be fatal. So they have to take the leg. She contacts me after this happened. She says, I'm in New York, he's in Connecticut, I don't know what to do, can you help? And so we did. So we used the Tribute platform to collect messages of his friends and family all over the world, telling Felipe not just get well soon, but here's why I admire you. Here's how I will support you. And we give that to Felipe. And I will never forget the email that I get in my inbox 3 days later. It's from Felipe, and all it says is, oh my God, wow. Wow, I'm just, thank you, wow. I can't believe you did this entire thing. I'm just, wow, thank you. And I realized in that moment that Felipe had experienced the same transcendent joy that I felt that night in the apartment. And then I thought to myself, what a gift to someone in the depths of a difficult battle, a medical battle. And in that moment, I realized that we wanted to get tribute to more people that needed it, to more patients. And we wanted to start working with hospitals. And now we're working with incredible people like the Cleveland Clinic and the Mayo Clinic. Back then, what we realized is that I couldn't go to a hospital and say, gratitude is like the best way to spread love and to make people feel good. They'd be like, get out of here. And so I had to start looking into the science of it. And so what I knew to be true about gratitude, now I had to couch that in science. And this is when it started to take hold of me. Is that we started to look at this first internal truth, the power of relationships to heal ourselves. And there was a 75-year study done by Harvard recently. The director of that study is a guy named Dr. Waldinger. Central in his research findings, he just says this one thing. He said, the clearest takeaway from all of our research is this one thing. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. Good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. We need good relationships. We talked about gratitude as this thing to help people connect and reinforce those social ties that are so valuable. And then we shifted our focus to gratitude, and we saw that merely keeping a gratitude journal, one thing you're grateful for every single day, can improve your subjective happiness 25%. And again, this is research. It's coming from the Greater Good Science Center at UC Berkeley, which has one of the longest longitudinal studies on gratitude and its impacts. What about our body? Practicing gratitude can reduce stress hormones like cortisol by up to 26%, make you 36% more likely to go to the gym. It literally boosts your white blood cells, your ability to fight disease. That's how it's transforming our bodies to practice gratitude. What about our minds? Again, when we practice gratitude, we're more resilient. We can deal with trauma more effectively. We get rid of those emotions like envy and regret. We have more empathy. This has been proven. And so there we sit. understanding now that gratitude is not just this thing that is a nice to have, something nice to do, but in essence is one of the quickest ways to be happy and to be healthy. And how crazy would we be not to do that? And so what I want to leave you with, and what I always try to leave you with, is like 3 stories. What did I do to actually manifest more gratitude in my life? And they're 3 simple things. And the first thing is something called the gratitude meditation. And so the reality for me is that meditation has always been this trying thing that I do with very little consistency. I was at a party right up the street like a year ago. My friend said, "Oh, you're meditating these days?" And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "How many times a week?" And I said, "I don't know, like 3. And he looked back at me and he said, "It's like 1. And I was like, "Yeah, like 1. But the gratitude meditation, 3 things you're looking forward to. 3 things you're grateful for. Envelop yourself in that state when you wake up in the morning. Your perception of what happens will be dramatically different. The second, how do you empower your community to share gratitude? Because the reality is that sharing your gratitude for someone can be a stressful, anxiety-filled thing. Telling someone why you love them, why you appreciate them, you might not know what to say, you might not know how they're going to respond, and when we don't know, we just don't do it. But one thing we've learned at Tribute is the power of a prompt. Is that because when you give someone a question, like in my tribute video, people weren't just saying, "Send Andrew a message." They were saying, "Why do you love him? What do you admire about him?" When you give people a question, now they inherently have an answer to it. When they inherently have that answer, they're going to be more capable of articulating that deep down emotion to the people they care about. That's why prompts are powerful. And the last one comes from a guy named Robert Cialdini. He wrote a book called Influence, which is the seminal work on persuasion and effective communication, and he says this one line that always stuck with us. And it says, "It is not our statement of affection that impacts the recipient. It is our explanation of it." So what that means is that when you tell someone, "I love you," that is a meaningful statement. But also, we say that every single day, and so when someone hears that, they might think to themselves, are they just going through the motions? But when we bridge "I love you" to "I love you because," we add authenticity and details into that statement. So when the people in my video say, "Andrew, I love you because you helped me move last week. Andrew, I love you because you made me my best self. I love you because you were always there for me when I need you." That authenticity lets me know why they care about me. It makes it more authentic to the recipient. "I love you because" is exponentially more powerful to express our gratitude. And I'm going to leave you with just one thought, in a New York moment. So I come off the L into the city quite often. Last week, I'm on the train and I see James Murphy. So James Murphy is the front man, the founder of LCD Sound System. I spent countless nights dancing to that music. I love LCD Sound System. He's deep in his book, he's standing there, he's scraggly. I'm thinking, people come up to him all the time. I'm not going to bother him. And then I remember this thought, this value that we have in the tribute office. You guys remember that thing we heard millions of times growing up? Our parents told us and they said, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. We realize at Tribute that if you take out 3 words, that statement becomes exponentially more powerful. If you have anything nice to say it all. And so I stood up and I looked at James and I said, "James, I just want to say thank you for your music. It has brought so much joy into my life." And he put his hand over his heart and he said, "Thank you so much." And he meant it. And so that last thought is that if something good happens in your day, say it to yourself. If someone does something to change your life, let them know. Remove those barriers from expressing gratitude, because gratitude is most powerful when shared. If you have anything nice to say it all. Thank you.
Andrew, I love you because you will share yourself with an audience.
Thank you very much. I have one bonus thing. So you guys, this is Ian over here. Ian literally just started as an intern today. And what we have in our gift bag are leftover gift cards. We were in the Oscars, like $450,000 gift bag this year. So any of you that would like one, you're going to get a gift card to create your first tribute on the house.
That's a beautiful gift. Thank you so much. So I do believe that we love another for the way they make us feel about ourselves. And reinforcing what you said there, I love you because, the reason why. And so why do you think it is that in our culture, at least, that maybe it's our culture, maybe it's all cultures, I don't know, we don't give the whys. We feel a specific way. It could also be like, I'm mad at you, but without the real reason why. Or I love you without the real reason why. Or I feel grateful for you without the reason why. Why do you think that we don't share that enough?
So earlier here, I was giving a hug. With Rachel or Sarah? Robin, sorry about that. No, so I was with Robin, and we talked about like when we hugged, and when we came in to hug, we hugged on the left side, like this. Just notice it next time you hug somebody. We went on the left side like that. And I said, you know why we do that, right? She said, do what? And I said, hug on the left side. And it's because we have this apprehension to the intimacy of our hearts touching when we go to the right side. And so people are scared of that kind of intimacy and this kind of vulnerability. And again, like what I talked about before, is that really telling someone why you love them, why you care about them. There's all these unknowns about, are they going to say that back? Are you going to make them uncomfortable? And so because of all these unknowns, like literally the Latin root of anxiety is anxietas, which translates to not knowing. So anxiety is not knowing. And that's why we keep that stuff inside. But the reality of it again is that it doesn't matter what someone responds to your gratitude. Like the same way it's like I sat there with James Murphy, it's like it made my day to tell him why he changed my life.
So more vulnerability.
More vulnerability.
More vulnerability. And, one thing that you're talking about, anxiety, not knowing, right?
Yeah.
One thing that I'd love you to touch on is something that I heard you say once about a eulogy.
Yeah.
Can you share with us your thoughts about eulogy, or at least your discovery about what a eulogy is?
Absolutely. So when we started Tribute, and a lot of the press mentions of Tribute have talked about us as the living eulogy, and I made that reference. It was the first thought I had when I was watching this video. So when we started to look at the eulogy and what it was, what we uncovered was kind of startling, and that was that eulogy just translates to the word praise in Greek. And so basically in ancient Greece, a eulogy was just a written or spoken part of speech that was given to people. But what happened is that over time, the funeral became a place where people were so compelled to share these emotional parts of speech that the eulogy became synonymous with death, when that is not what the word was initially intended for. It's just a part of speech with intense emotion. And so what we talk about with tribute is how do we actually take back the eulogy, which is what we believe a tribute is, to someone who can still appreciate that, who can still be transformed and impacted by it. And so that's why, I think that experiencing a eulogy while you're still alive is a much better time to experience it.
Yeah. Well, why should we wait till we're dead?
Why should we wait?
Why should we wait till dead?
Right? The London Times said, that was like their article, like 2 weeks ago, it said, why wait till you're dead? And I was like, all right guys, go for it.
So what's the world going to look like if we share more praise and share more gratitude?
You know what I mean? It's that when people, and I can only speak from personal experience, and that is one of my favorite things about Tribute, is that I walked out of that first experience feeling empowered, being able to see the parts of my love and appreciation and support of our communities. Like we can do things that we never thought possible. And that has been so true for myself. And so that is my goal, is to really try and share what has been so powerful for me with the world, and to share that same level of support and appreciation with anyone, so that everyone can act from that place of being valued, being supported.
So let's act more from that place, to support, to feel loved, to cherish, right? And before we go, by the way, whenever I do I love talking about it to our guests all the time, but if you do want to grab a drink, Hillary's the most amazing bartender in the world. Yeah. That's time to go. Yes. If you're bartender, no, seriously, if you want to get a drink, in between is always the best time. And I think at these shows, people want to hear what everyone's saying, they don't know the right time to get up, so these are the best time. But real quick, do tell everyone about AbilityList.org, the organization.
Absolutely. So thank you guys so much for coming tonight, because that's going to support AbilityList. So AbilityList was a platform that we started early on in my career. We started an adaptive athletic provider called Dreams for Kids, so helping young people with disabilities to play sports. One of the things we realized while doing that is that oftentimes one of the biggest barriers to people with disabilities integrating in their communities is that they just don't know what is available. So AbilityList is like a modern, beautifully designed Craigslist for people with disabilities to find and share all the resources that are available in their town. And so right now we are focused in New York City, and so it's a platform where you get hundreds of new resources listed every single day to help people with disabilities fully integrate and just live the fullest life possible.
Well, it's clear if Andrew Horn was, yeah, sure, acknowledge it. If Andrew Horn was wearing a band around his wrist and it was like a Fitbit, but it measured the impact he's having on the world instead of himself, that thing would break by now. Ladies and gentlemen, Andrew Horn.